How come my limited company year end doesn't run alongside the tax year? Oh yeah, it doesn't have to. It's actually normally based on when you started the company. So if you form the company in June, your year end is normally like the 30th of June the following year. All right, cool. But wouldn't it be better to run in line with the tax year, like say April to the end of March or something? So what's got you thinking about it? Why did you think it would be better? Don't know, actually. I just presumed it either had to be or it would be better. I mean, sometimes it can be. There's not actually much in it. So let me explain it. I think sometimes it could be easier for you as the owner to understand it. So if your tax year lines up with your company year and you're looking at something, say like dividends, you could see your personal tax return's got one figure on it. Your accounts have got the same figure on it. It's easy to understand. And for that reason, sometimes things like mortgage lenders can see that as easy to understand as well, which can be beneficial. But honestly, mortgage lenders are used to dealing with limited companies with all sorts of year ends, so that's not really a problem. Now, some accountants like to do it. It just depends how they work with their clients, because it's like a single point in time to have a look at all the tax planning. And there's some expenses where it runs in line with the tax year. So for example, if you've heard of things like annual functions, trivial benefits, mileage rates, those kind of things run in a tax year. So sometimes it's easier to keep that in the back of your head when the company year runs in line. All right, I'll check with them and see what their preference is. Yeah, it's probably a good idea just in case there's a preference. But the other thing to bear in mind is that your tax deadlines are roughly the same, both for kind of the deadlines for submission, but also payment. So normally if you've got a March year end, which is about as close as you're going to get to the tax year end, your company accounts are due at the end of December and your corporation tax is due around the same time as well. And then the month after, you're going to have your self-assessment on the 31st of January and the personal tax payment. Now, that can be quite good because you think, well, I've only got one kind of place I've got to sort it all out, normally for Christmas. But the downside to that, apart from the Christmas thing, is that it's all coming out in one go. So that's quite a lot of cash to part with in a short amount of time if you're not prepared for it. Personally, I actually quite like year ends that don't run with the tax year. I think for various practical reasons I won't bore you with, it's quite good to be able to have an offset year end. And if you imagine as well, from a selfish point of view, if all of our clients had the same year end, there'd be a queue out the door for everybody to be processed at once. So it actually works out a bit better for everybody, I think. And I think practically for you, having the corporation tax payment in a different place to where your personal tax payment is actually just smooths the cash flow out a little bit. But if you pulled a lot of accountants in the room, they're all going to have a different opinion on this. There isn't actually a right answer, but you're certainly doing nothing wrong or not costing yourself any money by leaving your limited company year end where it is. Great. One less thing to stress about.